Okay, guys, so check that out. Vato's Barbecue, king of the barbecue. My son Dylan made that for me. He makes all my aprons for me, but today I'm going to show you guys how I make my ribs. Come on. I want you to know that I sharpen my own knives. I use this little tool by Pivot Company. It's just a great little stone. Works perfect for me. My knives are always really sharp. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to take the membrane off of the ribs, first of all. So I take the slab and I cut it out of the package, and then I take it out. There's many different ways you can take this membrane out, you know, but for me personally, I like to do it one particular way because it's kind of the easiest way for me. But what I do is I take this slab of ribs and I take a butter knife and I go like about the 4th or 5th bone, go right in between, and just take this butter knife and get underneath that membrane. You know, kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit. Sometimes it's easier than others. As you can see, I don't know if y'all can see this, but I just get in there and just get up underneath there, and then I'll turn it around, find where that one was, and then come back on the other side and do the same thing. Just get under the membrane, that's all you want to do. And then once you get in there, there it goes. Once you get inside there, literally put your finger in there and the whole thing is easy to pull out like that. And then once you got that, I grab a napkin and I just get up underneath it. Now I got the whole thing in my hand. I cut it, and then with the napkin, I'm gonna grab that skin and just peel it right off. And it comes right off. I'll do this hand so y'all can see. Just grab it, peel it right off. So there's several different ways you can do that, but I find that's the easiest. Otherwise it comes in pieces and falls apart. Just get in that 4th bone, get in here, wiggle it, take it right out, bada bing. Okay, my next step, I clean the board up some. I take some foil paper that I pre-cut, and I take the ribs and I sit them on top of there. I don't really trim them too much. I might trim this little piece off of here. And then you got all the little fat on top. If it's too much, I'll trim a little tiny bit, but not much, because that fat really actually gives a lot of taste to the ribs. And then what I do with these is I literally take some yellow mustard and I mustard it. I know what you're thinking. Oh, you put mustard on your ribs? Yes, I do. I put mustard on all the meat that I smoke. It's not a lot, but what mustard does is it tenderizes the meat. Okay, and I let it sit overnight. I want to get it all up in the little crevices, get it everywhere. And then when I sauce my ribs, I do the same thing. I don't brush it on. I literally cake it on, and then I rub it with my hands. So you got a little piece straggling right here. And then I also do the bottom, not as much on the bottom, but again, I want to try to cover every inch, even on the edges here, because like I said, the mustard acts as a tenderizer. And for those of you who don't like mustard, you're not going to taste it. You could ask anybody in my family, they do not taste this mustard at all. So what I do from there, I'll just take the ribs and then I'll wrap them real nice and tight. Wrap this end over, put it like that. And then I put it in my refrigerator overnight. And then tomorrow morning, I'll take them out and I'll prep my smoker, and then I'll show you how I do from there. But until then, we'll see you later. All right, it is now 5:45 a.m. We mustered these ribs yesterday. We're gonna take them out today. By the way, I use these black Nitro Blend gloves from Amazon. Great, great, great gloves. Get 100 pairs pretty cheap. Then I also have the hot gloves that I use. But we're gonna open one of these babies up. I'm gonna show you how I season them. Here we go. Oh man, look at that. And then what I do is I just take and wipe this excess mustard off. Now that we got that off, now here are all my spices that I use. If you want to get that screenshot there a bit. I use my Pro Series Sweet Rub. I use my All Shoot. I use some Sweet Rub and some Butt Rub. And for the dry rub ribs that I'm going to make, I'm going to put some SPG on there. It's a brisket rub, salt, pepper, garlic, even shares of everything, but not on the ribs that are going to be my other ones. All right. So the first thing I do is I always do the bottom first, and I'll coat it with just some of this competition rub, just enough, get all the edges. You want to make sure you get it all covered really, really good. Then I'm going to take my Sweet Rub of mine, and this is the one that really gives it the nice color. Now you're going to say that looks like an awful lot of seasoning. It's not. Believe me, it burns off really good. And then a little bit of All Shoot, because what that does is it gives it a little bit of spice. That's a lot of spice. Those will be mine. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it over. We do the same on the other side. Clean off the excess. And I'll do the same thing. Little competition rub on here. Get it all in there really nice and even. Then my Sweet Rub. I can taste them already. And it put a little bit of this butt rub, not too much. That just gives a little more flavor. But then end up with my All Shoot. So then I take that and I'm gonna prep them all, and then I'll be back, and then we'll go put them on the smoker. All right, so a couple things. I just use the Kingsford charcoal, the original Kingsford. For me, it's just has the best results as far as cooking goes. And then I like to use these hickory chips here. And what I'll do is I'll throw a couple in the hopper here with the actual charcoal. And then on the bottom, there's a tray that catches all the ashes. I put one under there because that one burns slow. And it gives you that real good smoke flavor. It smokes a lot because it's not on the direct fire. So that's how I get a lot of my smoke flavor. So I've been warming this thing up for, I don't know, about 10 minutes. We're at 161. I want to get to 225. And we're going to put the ribs on for 3 hours. And then probably in about 2 hours, I'm going to get some apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to spritz them one time. That's it, one time. Because when you're cooking them like this, they don't really get dry, or they shouldn't get dry. Some people don't spritz them at all. I like to spritz them. Some people just use apple juice. I like using apple cider vinegar. It gives you a little bit of a tanginess, and we try to keep that consistent throughout the whole cook. So when this thing reaches our temperature, we'll come back and we'll throw these ribs on the smoker. So our smoker has reached the temperature where we want to be. It's really hard to see over here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ribs in, fat side towards the smoker and meat side up. Okay, I'll put that one there, and I'm going to put this spare rib one down here because it's actually pretty. Now I'm going to put it up there, and I'm going to lay them in there really nice. Make sure when you put them on the rack that you have a little bit of airspace in between them. But otherwise, the smoke won't get all the way around it. So now you can see ribs are on. Still a little dark out here. Oh, but you can see pretty good on the camera. We're gonna close the lid, and we're gonna come back in about an hour and a half. We're gonna spritz them, and then we're gonna come back in another hour and a half after that, and we're gonna take them out, and then I'll show you the next step. Until then, is it wrong making ribs with Ray Para? Not at all, baby. So we're right at about 2 hours. Gonna open up this bad boy here. Oh, nice, nice. You can see they're coming along just great. So I'm gonna spritz them now. Like I was saying in my video, little apple cider vinegar, and I'm only gonna do this one time. Spritz them pretty good. Get some of that moisture in there. Just look at that deliciousness. We'll come back and check them again in about an hour, hour and a half. All right, guys, so good morning. Feels good. The sun's out, dogs running around. Temperature's beautiful out here. So right now we're gonna take these out of here. We've been cooking them. We've been smoking for about 3 hours. I spritz them once in between, and I'm gonna take them out, and then we're gonna bring them inside, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do them in there. Look at that. That's 3 hours in right there, guys. Now we're inside. So I pre-cut a bunch of these pieces of this heavy duty foil. I got some butter here. I cut them in 1 teaspoon sizes, some brown sugar, and some honey. Say what you want. This is how I do my ribs, and they turn out fantastic. So I put a little honey in here. And I'm gonna take 4 of these, place them in there, spread them out real nice. Then I'm gonna put some brown sugar in there. The brown sugar just gives it a little more taste. The butter tenderizes it a little more, gives it another just great flavor. All right, so once I've done that, I'm gonna take the rib, I'm gonna put it meat side down, okay? And I'm gonna set it on there. Look at that, just falling off the bones almost. And then what you wanna do is you wanna create a cradle, because you don't want any of the butter to come out as this is melting. And when you fold it up, make sure you don't poke through the ribs, the foil with the ribs. And just wrap it up real nice and tight. Bring this one back.
It's a gift.
Huh?
It's a gift.
It's a gift, yes. Wrap it like it's a gift. That's my wife. She's doing all the filming. I don't know if you all know her, but anyway, so I'm going to do this with all 4 of them, and then we'll come right back. All right, so I've wrapped them all up. I got the heat up a little bit to 235. They're all in foil here, and we're going to leave them in here another 2 hours, and then we'll be back. So guys, here we are. I have wrapped them. I seasoned them and put everything on them. It's been 2 hours. We're gonna go ahead and take them out now. Look at this little piece right here. This has been in here the whole time. That guy's ready to get eaten. The ribs are for all of us. That one's for my dog, for Coda, because he hangs in there so patiently. So we'll take these guys out of here. We'll go and wrap them inside. We'll sauce them, and then we'll put them back in for another hour uncovered, and we'll see what that's gonna do. All right, guys, now is the time. We've been smoking these babies for 5 hours. We did the wrap, we did the, look at that. My God. If you could just taste that. And you probably, oh, I gotta be careful with falling apart. So what I'm gonna do now is I do my saucing a little different than everybody else. I literally pour it on, and then I rub it in there. Why do I do that? I do that because I want to get a nice, thick, even coat of barbecue sauce on there. And then on the bottom, I'll just brush that a little bit. Now, many of you are probably thinking, what kind of barbecue sauce does he use? I'll tell you what. If you leave a comment on this video, I will tell you what I use. And it is incredible. So now that I've sauced them like this, all I'm gonna do is fold this like this and like this. And then I'm gonna stick it back on the grill on the foil paper. I'm not gonna take it off the foil paper. So I'm gonna do all 4 of these like this. And then when I put them in the grill, I'll come back and show you. All right, guys, here you go. I got them all in the smoker. They're all open, they're all sauced. And remember to hit me up on a PM and I'll tell you what kind of sauce I use. It's my own little special recipe. Is it wrong? And then we got this one right here for Cody. We get ribs and he gets a little chunk. But I'll let you know when I pull them out. All right, y'all. The time of truth. 6 hours total. These babies are ready to come off. Let them rest for a bit before I cut them. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Or as I like to say, oh my Lanta, you are my woman. Look at that deliciousness, guys. Let's go. Okay, so here we are. My cameraman left, or my camera woman, but just feast your eyes on those guys. We're just gonna cut them here. They've been resting for a while. Just gonna cut them. Look at that. Look at that bark, guys. Look at that. That's just man. Just look at that. I'm not gonna do the taste test in front of y'all because I already know they're delicious. But I use a hardcore carnivore knife to cut them with. But just guys, just remember, man, hit me up, PM me. I'm gonna make a whole video of this. Well, by the time you're looking at it, it's already a video. I hope you enjoy these ribs, and PM me and I'll tell you what barbecue sauce I'm using, and I promise you, you won't be let down. One last thing I wanted to show you, a whole rack of them babies all cut. Look at that, just incredible. And then I still gotta cut all these. And then it's off to my competition today. Wish me luck. Final product in the tray, ready to go for competition. Let's go.